happy belated birthday. Sorry that I couldn't do this yesterday. Lost my phone. I recovered it, so we're here today. New Year's weekend. I hope you guys are excited for 2024, and I hope you guys have some cool plans. I hope you enjoyed your holidays. I hope the full moon Cancer didn't ride you too hard. I know for my fellow water signs, it did a little number on us. Good morning from Birmingham. Hi, good morning, Danny. Like no one left. I know, I was so bummed, you guys, because like when I realized because I left my phone basically at an establishment, but they were closed by the time I realized it. And then I was like, oh shit. I was like, how am I gonna do the live? Because they don't open till like 11 or something like that, my time. So I was like, shit, I gotta postpone it. So, it is what it is. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. If you're watching this after the fact, I do the birthday reads live. I basically do a couple of spreads for the collective of the sign that I'm reading for. A lot of times they kind of interweave into each other. You might resonate with one reading over the other. It all just, use your discernment as you will with what comes through for you. I am going to get pen and paper because I totally forgot to do timestamps. Hold on, let's see. I know I got a notepad here somewhere. Okay, perfect. Perfecto. Still December, still my birthday, is that what you said, if you ask me. Yeah, why not? Why not? Sorry, so many things are running through my head this morning. So, including this like piece of hair that's making me crazy. I was like, I knew I had a bobby pin here somewhere. I did ground this morning, but suddenly in your energy, I feel very ungrounded. But I took time to ground this morning. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. All right, so let's see. Are we just jumping in? I feel like I need a few minutes with you guys. There's like, yeah, I feel like I need a few minutes with you guys. Something just feels very ungrounded. And like I said, I made sure to ground before I got on this live. So I was like, let's take our time. Let's be patient. This could be, okay, so I might as well start this as a channeling because I feel like I got some stuff coming through for you guys. Sag, I feel like your energy is just really ungrounded. There's an anxiety that I'm feeling, and it might make you feel like you gotta like, go out and do a lot, or it just might make you very restless. Now keep in mind, this isn't for everybody. It's just what I'm picking up on. Oh, my back. Oh. Yeah, but it just feels like a very restless, anxious kind of energy. And I don't feel like it's necessary. What does grounding do technically? It puts you in your body. Excuse me. It puts you in your body, and it puts you in tune with all of your chakra centers and in tune with you. It's like when we're not grounded, we tend to be all like up here and like in our heads and not really fully in tune with ourselves. And that's what I'm getting for you guys. It's just what I'm picking up on right now. This could also be like very much collective beyond Sag. I have been doing a lot of collective energy work, and it's been a lot. Sag, I'm picking up on fear. What's going on? Keep in mind, this could be someone around you or someone that's in your field. It doesn't have to be you. My hoodie keeps falling down. Yeah, I'm getting fear. I think you're very aware that things are changing. I think you're very aware that like you need to shift and you need to make some choices. And I almost feel this like torn between what you're stuck in. It's like weird how it wants to come out that way, almost like things that you're attached to or things you're devoted to. I want to say like obligations, really. But there's something about like your current obligations that make you anxious is kind of what I'm feeling. But then there's this fear of just the different, but that's not very saggy. So I'm kind of surprised that's coming up for you. But again, I think that's also very, very collective. When was the last time you had some peace, Sag? Like, when was the last time you just had some like quiet, like literally just quiet, like you're not doing anything, you're not trying to do anything, you're not listening to anything, you're not watching anything. Like, when was the last time you just had some like pure quiet? I feel like that could benefit my Saggies right now. Yeah, I feel the need to just let's slow down. Let's calm it down before we do anything. Let's calm ourselves down before we do anything. Yeah, there's something about this that feels very collective. I can't get away from that. I do want to start a read. I keep feeling this like needing to wait on starting a reading even with you. Almost like let's just sit here together for a minute. Yeah, Sag, I feel like you just need to chill. I feel like you just need to chill. Been a minute since I've been still like that. Yeah, and you know, it's been very important to be still like that for the collective, and I think it's been hard for people to do that, especially with holiday stuff going on, the intense full moon energy we've had going on, all of this feeling of 2024 and wanting to prepare for 2024. This might be Capricorn energy too, lol. It could, it totally could. It totally could be. But yeah, Saggy, it's very clear. Like there's just a need to like, just woosah. Just be calm, just be still. Don't get so worried about things that maybe you don't even need to worry about. I just keep getting these like torn paths or torn pieces of you. Like one that's anxious about things that you've been doing. And maybe because you're sensing like those things are actually like stuff you really shouldn't be doing anymore. And then like, oh, okay, so I can do different things, but it's like, oh God, but the different things. Yeah, it's definitely this like kind of anxiety around what you know you need to not do anymore, but then how do you go and not do those things anymore? Like that's what I'm feeling with you. Mm. Now that that's been said, let's go ahead and get into it. I want to get into the goddess energy. So the goddess decks are calling out to me. So I've been working, so a little tangent. I've been working on my storage units and I found decks that I thought I lost and I just was like, oh, I just was like so ecstatic. I don't have the books for them anymore, but I don't like I need them. I know them, but still it was like a nice little gift. But yeah, the goddesses definitely want to come out and work with you, Sag. So let's do that. Let's get some goddess energy up for you. Ooh. Yeah, they keep saying just go slow with Sag, just go slow with Sag. I am definitely getting a lot of like needing to be very patient and just to like learning how to calm yourself down right now. It's all about calm. It's all about calm. It's all about calm. I am getting like mother goddesses, like Yamaya's coming up pretty strongly. Moon goddesses, I'm hearing moon goddesses. So I feel like this is just really getting in tune with just literally like your own awareness, your own emotions, your own cycles. Like just come back to you, Sag. Just come back to self and calm is what I keep getting. We're gonna go with this one first or the other one? We'll do the other one. Okay. So we're gonna go with this one. I know you guys haven't seen this one in a long time because I thought I lost it years ago. Anyway, let's see. Any messages or insights for Saggy? Yeah, this whole mother. Some of you have really been really focusing on mother energy, and when I say that, I mean your relationship with your mother, your relationship as a mother, or your own feminine energy, or how to emotionally soothe yourself, console yourself, calm yourself. The full moon Cancer brought up a lot of stuff around mothers because it is a Cancer full moon, but also codependency, and I'm getting a lot of that too for you, Sag. Codependency in any form. You know, it's like we can be emotionally codependent with people. We could be codependent with like vices and things like that. I feel like there's been some very, very deep healing in relation to any roots of codependency. When I did the full moon Cancer, actually like in the, like what kept coming up was root canal kept coming up, and I'm feeling that with you. This just feels like a recent energy you've been in, and it feels like you're still riding that wave. Any messages or insights for Saggy? And of course, I didn't do a timestamp because I just got so into it. If anybody would like to do timestamps, by all means, I would not be opposed. Anyway. Okay. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius? the fear stuff is still coming up too. It's interesting. It's like I got purple and green, and I almost had this like feeling of like a childhood story of like a purple green monster or a purple green-eyed monster or something like that. I mean, that immediately pulls me to like whatever fears may be coming up at this time to be confronted, definitely rooted in childhood. But it's kind of interesting how that came up. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius? Yeah, Saggy, this is about you mothering yourself through your anxieties, through your fears, doing what you know you probably should be doing and making those hard decisions, but it's like really, really mothering yourself. Oh, nice. We have Aphrodite with inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. I feel like, again, just harnessing that goddess energy to mother the self, to come back to self. I just keep getting that so strongly, and to be very gentle with yourself, very patient with yourself, and also just whatever's on your plate right now that's causing anxiety and causing fear. If you haven't been spending any time like really getting to the root of these things, I really feel like a lot of these things are ancestral. Could even be past life related as well, like through time and space, like relating to the divine feminine in that kind of a way. But it's deep. These are deep, 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 deep things that again was brought up by the full moon in Cancer. We're still technically in that energy just because, right, we have like a 2-week span till we get to like the new moon in Capricorn. So if you are curious about that, it is on Patreon and it's on Vimeo as well. Interesting. Look what's on the bottom. Mawu with Mother Earth. Yeah. There's also been some primordial energy stuff being integrated in a shadow element. That's for like an island turtle talk, which I plan on getting back to those. But yeah, there's definitely been some of that going on too. Any other messages or insights for Sagittarius? Oh, Hathor. Oh my God. Talk about a very like yummy mother goddess. Hathor, literally like the milk of the cow, the nourishment of the community from a motherly figure. So again, a lot of these same themes. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others, even if you're just doing this with yourself. Putting yourself in a state of receptivity is putting yourself in that place of stillness, in that place of calm, in the place of being centered, and not trying to logic figure out this, that, or the other, or allow your emotions to get the best of you, right? It's like, this is about you coming back to self and being receptive to calm and reassurance and knowing everything's okay and mothering yourself. I just feel like heavy Nine of Swords, like very exacerbated Nine of Swords. Interesting, we have Guinevere with true love on the bottom too. Yeah, that's just what I'm getting. Any other messages or insights for Sagittarius? On the bottom, we have Bridget. Interest. Oh, it fell out of my hand. Underneath that, we have Vesta. Home, very Cancer. But Bridget, don't back down. Stand up for what you believe is right. This is usually like kind of like a Seven of Wands kind of vibe, right? But this is what I think is actually pulling you into your anxious energy. Like feeling like you got to do something, feeling like you got to act, feeling like I got to shift or this or that or whatever's on your plate. I feel like that is making you anxious. That I feel like is putting you like in a very ungrounded space and not in a space of even just being with self. You will come back to this. It's not like I'm saying put off your responsibilities. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take a hot minute, right, to prioritize you and all these things that are coming up for you emotionally, mentally, that sort of deal. And then you'll get the clarity you need to like deal with what's on your plate. I keep getting this is about the roots of your stuff, Sag, the roots of your anxiety, the roots of your fears, and a lot of it relating to the mother or being mothered or how to console yourself or reassure yourself or to feel emotionally stable within yourself. Cancer is all about emotional stability, right? Now, again, this doesn't have to be you. It could be someone you're dealing with or someone you know, That's clearly what's coming up here. Let's continue on this spread. Let's see who wants in. Who wants in? Yeah. Really? No, we're gonna go with Energy Oracle. All the decks I use are linked below, by the way. Sorry I'm late. Oh, don't be sorry. You're here. It'll also post after the fact. You know, we're also in this space too where the collective is, how do I want to say, 2024 is going to be huge. I am going to do a video on 2024 either today or tomorrow. Probably today, actually. Later in the afternoon, it'll probably be alive. So if you want to catch that, just make sure notifications are on. Again, might be tomorrow, but I'm really thinking today. But how do I want to say this? How do I want to say this about the collective? You know, we've really been learning a lot of lessons in Capricorn, Pluto breaking down Capricorn, and how we work, how we achieve, how we make things happen. And so a lot of that has also been wrapped up in codependency, and a lot of that's also been wrapped up in attachment, right? Because we're learning to work from this place of just us, of just being us, and being created from a place of just like our pure sense of selves versus in a flow state versus like a rigid, I'm going to do A and then I'm going to do B and then I'm going to do C and I'm going to do this from 9 to 5 like every single day. Like we really have been shifting away from that for a while, but we're at like the tail end of finally closing that out as Pluto moves into Aquarius in next year. We're going to taste it a little bit again when Pluto moves back into Capricorn in retrograde. I want to say that's in summer. Summer's going to be gnarly, just saying. But in November of 2024, Pluto will finally cement in Aquarius. Jupiter being in Gemini next year is also going to help us with that, which that will come into play in May. But my point is we're finally closing these things out. So it's kind of like a final deep review, deep clean, like deep reprogram of, do we finally get it? Can we finally work and function differently from this kind of a place, right? Anyway, let's move on. I'm also getting this too about fear and ego, because we're like really digging up the deep stuff. Again, this whole like root canal energy that we're all still in collectively. When the big fear and anxieties come up, it might come in the form of like overwhelming thoughts. It might come in the form of negative self-talk, or like literally like your mind just like goes kind of everywhere in a way where like your fears just keep like running on loop. That's the ego also recognizing that there's this deep cleaning that's happening. So take that as a sign when like it's really like you feel really consumed by all of that. Take that as a sign that the work is there, like the work is happening, and it's up to you to capitalize on that. Not be overwhelmed by it, but face it and capitalize on that opportunity. Okay? All right. Any messages or insights for Sag pertaining to the spread? Let's see here. Crown chakra coming in with Aphrodite. Archangel Uriel here coming in. Again, things are going to get much more clear if you take the time. If you take the time to quiet, get away from the noise, face whatever it is that's coming up for you, things are going to get very, very, very clear. Okay. Your intuition is also going to be balanced out, is almost what I want to say. It feels like some of you, there's a little bit of a scattered energy around like your own intuition and awareness. Discerning the fear from what's reality, the fear from what's true, right? Fear is false evidence appearing real, right? Any other messages or insights? I'd also watch the dreams. Dream time has been weird. I know for me personally, dream time has been very, very strange, but I've also been doing a lot of collective stuff too. But pay attention to your dreams. They could be showing you your fears or showing you truth. Again, you can get clear on that if you take the time, but you know, on you to do that. Any other messages or insights for Sagittarius? Any other messages or insights for Sagittarius? Tell me about Hathor. There it is. Fear, all tied up. That's the Eight of Swords energy. It's fear. It's fear. It's fear. I'm also hearing open up too. Interesting. Both of these are 5s as well. I just noticed 41 and the 23. You got 5 coming out here. Open up. I just heard open up, open up, open up, open up. There could be people around you that are waiting for you to be more open with them. And that could be like open for help, open for support. Some of you may struggle with the notion of sharing your fears with other people or being very like emotional with other people or sharing your anxieties with other people. But some of you could really benefit from doing that. And all of you are going to be in different boats there. It's up to you to discern if that's really for you to do or not. But I did just hear that. Any other messages or insights for Sag? The animals are pulling on me. We're going to get there. That'll be in the second reading. Okay. Victory in reverse. Sag, you can't be worried about failure or disappointment before it even happens, right? It's like that's kind of just a part of life. You know, sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. But even if things don't work out the way that you want, it doesn't mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you're going to be in a bad spot necessarily. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. It's really just a part of life. But I feel like that's part of what's also fueling your fear. It's just this feeling of like, I'm going to lose or I'm not safe. It's really, I'm not safe. That's really what it is. It's really, I'm not safe. It's totally a root chakra thing. Anything else for Sagittarius? Yeah. With victory in reverse, we do have hostilities. That's kind of like my 5 of Swords energy. Some of you could be worried about confrontation. Some of you could be worried about backlash. I don't know why I'm getting a gossipy energy. That's something that's been creeping up a little bit here and there in the reads. People could be more gossipy at this time. You could even just be worried about gossip. But anyway, that's what I feel like is behind your fear. Again, it's this fear of I am not safe. I will experience this. But that's not necessarily true. It's just your fear. The ego is very agitated. I can definitely see the ego is very agitated here, Sag. Okay, hold on. I just got something. Now we have strategy in reverse. There is something you do got to handle, but not in the way you think. Not in the way you think. So we have strategy coming out in reverse with this. Again, it's putting you in this place of not being able to really think straight, feeling like you're kind of like paralyzed in a way of handling certain things you need to handle. But I just got this download before the strategy card came out. Some of you, there is a situation that you need to put boundaries on. That's what I'm getting. Like you need to like show up for. And I really want to say it's to put boundaries in place, and it's giving you anxiety. I think because you're worried about a confrontation, or you're worried about things can possibly be misconstrued, or it's putting in this feeling of like, I'm not safe to do that. I'm not safe to do that. I'm not safe to do that. And so you haven't been doing it. But that came in really clear for those of you, oh my God, excuse me. For those of you where you know for sure that there's something you haven't been handling because you need to put boundaries in place and you're worried about the repercussions of that. It's time to get to the root of those fears and anxieties so you can actually do this and know you're capable of doing this. And also know that that's not always going to evoke some kind of like aggressive response from people or put you in a place where you're not safe if you decided to do that. Overall, we do have Angel of Strength, basically the strength card, finding the bravery, the confidence to follow through on this, okay? Okay, let's move on, Sag. Let's do a second spread. The animals have been calling you pretty hard. So we're going to move on to the animals. Oh, excuse me. Energy. All right. Using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. If I can pull it out of my little card holder. Hold on a second. Ooh, the Fae. Are we going to work with the Fae too? Maybe we will. All right. I will do a timestamp for this because I am aware of it. Okay. So again, starting with the animals, let's get into this for you, Sag. Immediately they're showing me the frog. Which for me is all about cleansing, releasing, emotional release. I like that feeling though. It feels purifying. It feels like emotional purification. Wouldn't be a reading without that. I know they haven't been as consistently working as they did in the past, but you know, shifting, right? But yeah, I'm getting big frog energy there. Definitely, I feel this like removal of shame and guilt. I definitely feel a purification of that. That just wanted recognition. So I'm just saying it. It doesn't pertain to most of you, I think. It just wanted recognition. So, it's interesting, right? Because once you recognize the shame and guilt you're carrying for anything, you can then, right, recognize it and allow it to flow and release. So some of you guys have already been privy to that. So moving beyond that, not taking responsibility for things that are not yours to be responsible for, like other people's feelings. Now I feel like we're getting into more of like your true Saggy nature. I like, Saggy, I'm liking this vibe. I'm really liking this vibe. It's a very empowered kind of a stance of, sorry you feel that way, it's not my responsibility. I like it. I really like it. Especially if any of you have been battling codependency. That's definitely something that people who battle codependency need to learn to move into, right? Yeah, I like that. Do you want to do a tarot video for the elements in 2024? I was probably just going to do a live talking about what's going to go down in 2024. I wasn't going to do cards or anything just because that's like very extensive. That's a lot of energy to have to channel and read for. And really what matters is you guys know what's up in 2024, right? That's really what matters, that you know what's going down in 2024. So you can adjust accordingly for your own personal situations, right? Okay. Saggy, sorry, coming back to you, coming back. Saggy. Something's being taken off the shelf. That just came through really strong too. Oh, okay. Saggy, something's being taken off the shelf and examined, and I feel like you're being put on the spot for whatever is being taken off the shelf here. And so like that tells me that whatever this is, it hasn't been talked about or spoken about or poked at for a while. Could be weeks, could be months, could be years. But someone, and it does feel like a grievance, is deciding, no, we're going to take this off the shelf and we're going to look at this now. And I feel like you are being put on the spot. It almost feels like you're being put in like the judgment chair a little bit. But I feel like your reaction is just very much like very strong boundaries of that's not my responsibility. Ooh, Saggy. Okay. I don't know why it's making me nervous for you. Nervous in an excited way. Kind of in an excited way. Because I feel like, again, you're being put on the spot here by somebody. But the way you're handling it is like not what they expect. So I don't know. This is interesting. This is very interesting, Sag. Let's see. Ooh, nice. So we have golden egg and hawk. I'm hearing integrity. Integrity and being pure of heart here. When hawk comes out, hawk is usually spirit saying like, we're here and we're intervening. We're here, we're intervening, we're dropping signs and synchronicities everywhere. We're trying to guide you or this, we're trying to guide the person through this process. That's what hawk is to me when hawk comes out. But the fact that we have golden egg is the heart chakra. You're being guided to really follow your heart here, but it's really the integrity, like integrity of what you know is right, integrity of even just having compassion and empathy for people, but not compromising your own heart in the process. Does that make any sense? Like that's kind of what I'm getting here. It's like come from a very highly evolved emotional place where yes, if somebody has a grievance towards you, listen to them, acknowledge their feelings, but it doesn't mean you have to compromise yourself just because someone's upset, right? Like that's honestly what I'm getting here. But either way, just have that integrity and have that compassion intact, but have the boundaries as well. Nice. Any other messages or insights for Saggy? And if you're the one with a grievance and you're calling someone out, it feels very cathartic. It feels very necessary, no matter what their response or reaction is. Like, no matter what side of the table you're on, when this comes off the shelf, it's very necessary for both parties that this comes off the shelf. Because for one person, it's allowing one person to be very honest and vocal and be like, hey, like, this was not okay. Or like, hey, this like really hurt my feelings or whatever it is, right? This is my grievance and it needs to be recognized. And it gives the other person an opportunity to acknowledge that, but also to like exercise their own boundaries. You see what I'm saying? So it's like kind of the classic situation of sometimes unpleasant things happen, but it's happening for different reasons for everybody involved and very important reasons. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. But anyway, let's move on. Any other messages or insights for Saggy? Interesting. Octopus. Usually this is my devil card. It is also a card of codependency and attachment. It's interesting because as I was laying in bed last night, I was kind of like, so I get into these meditative states usually when I'm just kind of like chilling and just like not even trying to meditate, just like suddenly I'm just in this kind of space and I'm communing or I'm getting downloads. And I was getting downloads specifically about this card in this specific deck, which I thought was fascinating. And I kept hearing good intentions, good intentions, good intentions, good intentions. Good intentions can sometimes go awry. Sometimes, even if we're well intended in something, things can get distorted, right? And that's kind of what I was getting with this card specifically. Like there's always good intentions behind this card is what basically came to me last night. Sometimes things just get distorted because humans aren't perfect, right? So that's what I'm feeling here, Sag, is whatever this thing that's coming off the shelf. I think there were good intentions on all sides, but something went awry. Okay, at some point in time, something became unhealthy or distorted or codependent or attached or misconstrued or something became unhealthy. Okay, we'll just put it that way. Something became not so healthy. But that's why that octopus is showing up. So very interesting. Tell me more for Saggy. Wow, there's a lot coming through for you in this reading. This is like super specific. I just heard what is that term? Like when someone like does something, but it's like to get attention. Like a cry for help is that's what it is. Like some kind of cry for attention or some kind of cry for help. I think is part of what is unhealthy about this or has become unhealthy. It's something like that where it's like someone wasn't dealing very well and it's like call for help, call for attention is kind of what I just heard. Yeah, that feels right. That feels right. Any other messages or insights for Sagittarius? Let's see. Wow. All right, so my mystics. Some of you could have been feeling this cry for attention or help via telepathy or dream time. And I say that because we did just get unicorn and moth. This is a very intense awareness of an unstoppable kind of event or force. That's how I'm kind of getting it here. And it's looking directly at the octopus. So again, whatever the situation is, it's being taken off the shelf. And it's definitely some kind of unpleasantness or tension or predicament that needs to be dealt with, so to speak. But this is awareness of it and that it needs to, that it's that it needs to come off the shelf and that it's coming off the shelf, and there's going to be some talks about it. Like there's an awareness of this octopus and that, oh, I'm about to be confronted with this octopus. Like that's kind of what I'm getting with that. But some of you could have been experiencing this via telepathy or even dream time, just intuiting that like someone could have been pulling on your energy. That's also what I'm getting too. Wow. It does. It just feels like a big confrontation. Even the way the cards lay, like look at this. Hold on a second. Like look at that. Do you guys see it? Can you feel it? Like even the hawk and the unicorn are like right on that octopus vibe. Yeah, this is a big confrontation and the awareness that it's going down. All right, let's see what other animals want to come out from the Saggies, and then we'll move on. Anything else for Sagittarius? On the bottom, we have tarantula. So that's a tense energy. Tarantula is usually like a crossroads or like a tug of war, like kind of being stuck and needing to get out of the stuckness, so to speak. Underneath that, we do have a lion. So a lot of fire starting to come through. Lion. Lion is the master of fire in this deck. It's all about timing. How to act with timing and integrity to maintain your own fire. It's the King of Wands, essentially. So again, Sag, I think you're going to navigate this just fine. And I think as long as you have integrity and compassion in the situation and boundaries, this will be navigated just fine. Underneath that, we have more fire with cheetah. Again, this awareness that this is happening, awareness that this is coming off the shelf and this is about to take place. Okay, interesting. Let's pull some tarot cards on this one. And suddenly I don't want to resonate. It's empowering though. It's empowering. And like I said, if you're on the flip side where it's like you have a grievance and you're taking something off the shelf and you're about to like put someone on the spot, it's also very cathartic and very necessary. So again, necessary for everybody involved. Okay. Let's see. Debating which one I want to use. Where's my glow in the dark tarot? Oh, there it is. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Okay. So many decks. Okay. Let's do it. And then we'll do a third spread. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius? I do feel like someone I'm ignoring is not too happy with me, but I'm hoping they'll keep away. I mean, or you can just like talk to them about it and just tell them, you know, just saying. Right? Just saying. Ooh, 10 and 9 of swords. Ooh. Okay. Any messages or insights for Sag pertaining to this spread? Just a couple more. All right, here we go. Let's just focus on the octopus. Can you give me cards for the octopus, please? Oh, look at that. 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands can be a tired energy. It can be resilience, stamina, guarded. It is also my card of wounds. It is a wounded energy. It just feels like there's been so much energy around this octopus is kind of what I'm getting. There's been a lot of energy investment around this octopus. I feel like the octopus is literally just representing the energy of the situation, right? Where it's like there's been investment probably on all sides, there's been good intentions on all sides, and somewhere along the line, it just became unhealthy. And now there's this, like, it's almost a burden. Like, it's about to become a 10 of wands is what it feels like. It's about to, like, be the straw that breaks the camel's back in a way, which probably will lead to it coming off the shelf to be talked about, right? But I just feel a lot of tension. I feel a lot of energy. I feel a lot of, like, apprehension, I think is a good word for that. And I do feel like you or this person, right, depending on like where you are in the context of this reading, definitely been trying to guard yourself from it, but maybe not in the greatest of ways. Anything else about this octopus? Anything else about this octopus? A lot going on with the crown too, like upper chakras. I'm feeling a lot of that. I know there's a lot of thinking going on, but I keep getting this like telepathy. Oh, come on a second. So I'm not gonna take them, but I will show you in case they come out again. Six of Pentacles, Death, and the Ace of Cups. That to me feels like an ego death for sure. But let's continue. Can I get cards for the octopus, please? Thank you. Yeah, Hanged Man. It's been on the shelf. Already knew that. Already knew what's been on the shelf. It needs to come off. It needs to come off. Ooh. Excuse me. King of Cups. The Master of Water. Which is interesting, right? Because it's that kind of feels similar to what I was feeling over here, where it's like have the ability to have compassion and empathy, right? But a King of Cups doesn't let someone trample all over them, right? A King of Cups doesn't compromise their own emotional like state of being for the sake of someone else, even if they do have compassion for them, right? So it kind of makes sense. Have that integrity of like the mastery of your own heart and the mastery of your own emotions there. Anything else from my octopus energy here? King of Cups is also very intuitive. They're also very aware. And I don't feel like that gets talked about enough. I feel like the Queen of Cups usually gets the rap of like the super intuitive person. But King of Cups is just as intuitive. I mean, it's Scorpio. It's a Scorpio card, right? But I feel like, let's just say you're the King of Cups for the sake of the reading. And if it's reverse, you know how to look at the reading and if that's the case for you. Anyway, but for the sake of the reading, we'll just say you're the King of Cups here. Again, you have this awareness. This has been on the shelf, which means it's also been in your subconscious. It's probably been poking at you, whether mentally, emotionally, energetically, poking and 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 poking. Intrusive thoughts here and there, maybe you didn't really want to deal with it, but now it's time to, and you're aware of that. You're aware that it's time. Okay. But definitely, I think, like, even if you've been avoiding it, there's been this very active, like, thoughts about it, attachment to it. Okay, let's move on. Tell me about these other cards. Tell me about Unicorn and Moth. Tell me about Unicorn and Moth for Sag. Ugh. Tell me about Unicorn and Moth. Let's see here. Wheel of Fortune, the shift is here. But the Wheel of Fortune is upright. We'll see what other cards come out around it, but to me, this is a pretty fortuitous sign that even if it's coming off the shelf, it's coming off the shelf to move, right? To move the energy, to move that Nine of Wands, Hanged Man energy, right? Which everybody wants that, right? Tell me more about Unicorn and Moth. I feel like once the energy shifts too, it's like, like you're almost probably going to feel revitalized. Like you're going to get a lot of energy back. Tell me more about Unicorn and Moth. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Wow. Very, very powerful cards to have together. Emperor and Strength. Both are very like fire oriented because Strength represents Leo energy, the sun, very masculine energy at that, all about control and empowerment, confidence, all of that sort of deal. Even Mastery, because it's about mastering the shadow too and balancing yourself with that. But the Emperor is Mars. Very, very masculine energy here. But this is putting you in this place of being able to sit here, but again, compassionately, still being very much connected to your own King of Cups energy. Okay? Wow. Let's see what any other cards want to come out, and then we'll close this reading out. Like I said, necessary for all parties. One person gets to like get recognition for their grievance. The other gets to learn how to sit in their boundaries compassionately. Yeah, you know this is coming. Ooh. Interesting overall. So now we have the Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands, and the Sun. Again, a lot of fire, a lot of freaking fire in your reading. You are a fire sign, but it's a lot of fire. The 7 and the 3 imply a 4 of Wands. There's this feeling of, I want to say wanting to go on the defensive. It's not about going on the defensive here, right? It's not about that. It's about having boundaries and being in yourself and being in your power, but compassionately, right? Being open, being receptive, being vulnerable, but knowing where the boundaries are and knowing where to put your foot down and knowing what not to take responsibility for and what to take responsibility for. But I can feel the temptation there with the 7 of Wands. I can feel it. I can feel the temptation. The 3 of Wands is being open and receptive to what's about to happen here. And the Sun, I feel like, is actually a really good sign of, hey, this is about to shift. Just don't get super blocked off or defensive. Overall, what I think is interesting, the Moon. The Moon with the 2 of Pentacles. Oh, I see. The Knight of Cups, the 5 of Swords. You're debating between the Knight of Cups or the 5 of Swords. Again, do I go on the defensive or do I be open here? This is you needing to figure that out before this happens and takes place. I feel like a lot of you will be confronted by whatever this grievance is. I don't think most of you will be taking this off the shelf. Some of you might, but I can feel this like back and forth of like, do I take on the 5 of Swords energy or do I take on the Knight of Cups energy? Do I act defensive or do I act open and compassionate? I think you know the answer by now. Underneath that, just confirming that, we do have the 2 of Wands, the 2 different paths and choices here of the Knight of Cups or the 5 of Swords. But yeah, this is you trying to figure that out. Good luck, Sag. I wish you luck. You'll be fine. Honestly, I think you'll be fine. All right, let's move on and we'll do a final spread and then I'm gonna bounce because I got a lot going on today. This is a very busy Saturday for me. Okay. I'm just trying to feel out which way to go on this one. I am getting this like galactic pull. So I think there's definitely some of you where there's some galactic stuff kind of going on. But I feel like I'm not supposed to read that. Yeah, I'm not supposed to read that. Okay, we're gonna go with the herbal astrology, but that wanted recognition. That there's some of you guys going through some pretty intense galactic stuff right now, or like contact or downloads, visitation, etc. If you are wondering if that's happening, but deep down you know, and you just need that reassurance, here's the reassurance. So I'm actually going to start with the herbal astrology deck here. Let's see, and I'll do this timestamp. Actually, we'll just do 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on. I love this deck. I was gifted this deck, by the way. And it's just, I just love it. It just makes me very happy. I've cultivated quite a relationship with it. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius? I don't know if Rose is going to come out, but I am getting Rose. I am definitely getting Rose here. This feels like a big download. Hold on a second. I'm being drawn to the thorns. I feel like this is probably going to be more so for my Saggies, where you could be going through a very painful experience right now, but it's leading to more beauty in your life. Okay. Almost feels like growing pains, I want to say, which tells me that you're either like in a new situation or a new relationship, or you've been trying out a new path or a new way of doing things, or even just like a new hobby. But it's like whatever this newness is, it's like you're learning a lot, but it's like it's kind of uncomfortable. Again, kind of like growing pains. But it's leading to the bud of the rose is my point. Okay. Someone needed to hear that. Any messages or insights for Saggy? Any messages or insights for Sagittarius? Yeah, now I'm getting a bit of like a lower world, underworld sort of energy, almost like a very scorpionic energy. Now, Scorpio is your neighbor. You could have some Scorpio placements, or if you follow Vedic, you could technically be a Scorpio in Vedic. But I'm definitely getting some like primordial underworld sort of vibes. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just where you're at. Yeah, it's in the shadow. All right, so this is clearly a reading for my Saggies who are in your shadow or in the dark, so to speak, probably doing some intense shadow work or integrating your shadow. Let's see here. Any other messages or insights from my Saggies? Certain gods and goddesses may be coming to you at this time that work in the shadow or work with like shadow aspects. I think is a good word for that. Like Odin is, I would say Odin kind of qualifies actually. Odin qualifies there. I would say Loki qualifies. Nyx qualifies. Hecate qualifies. These are just examples. There's plenty, but these are examples. Any messages or insights? Okay. Chamomile, inner peace. Beautiful card to get considering everything I was just feeling with you. This card does have an association with the moon and the sun, balancing the polarities. So exactly what I was saying, right? It's like kind of reining in your shadow here, doing some shadow integration. I feel like we need better terms for that kind of process, but you guys understand what I'm talking about when I say that. When you find the balance of these polarities of self and aspects of self, right, you come into a place of unity. You come into a place of having more inner peace. But it's about coming into that place of unity within the self. Whoa. Ooh. We have Lion's Mane. This card almost never comes out with leadership. Mercury and Uranus vibes going on there, but also big Lyra energy too. And Damiana with the beloved. You can already tell we're talking a lot about polarities here with you, Sag. And your natural seventh is Gemini. Talk about polarities, right? And this is Pluto and Venus energy with, I can never say that, with Damiana. Excuse me. Saggy, you are coming into this place of unity within yourself. And I know we like say that phrase a lot, and I feel like the meaning of it can get lost. And all it really means is you're really pulling it's a pulling. You're pulling to center all of these aspects of self, which means, especially for those of you guys where I was getting this whole galactic feel, you're probably also integrating an awareness you have of different dimensional versions of self. Okay, and bringing that into the fold. When we start to work with new goddesses or gods or we start to go through like activations or upgrades, we got to integrate all that shit. We got to integrate all of it. And because it is like this whole like moving from polarity to unity, right? You can look at it as, yes, there's light and dark to everything we integrate, but all of it eventually all becomes gray anyway, because we're integrating it into a place of unity, into a place of oneness, right? So it's like, again, we have all these different terms for all this shit, but I don't want you to get like lost in the terms and like not really connect with the meaning of what it is that I'm saying, because this is a very profound process and we do all go through it. We do. We all go through it, some of us many, many times, in different ways, whatever, what have you. But both of these cards coming out here with inner peace and the beloved, with what I've already been picking up for you, is very indicative of that. So you're integrating some shadow aspects and you're just bringing it home. With lion's mane with leadership in the middle, I'm getting the word purpose actually with this. I'm getting the word purpose. With this integration, things are going to become very clear as far as what you can offer to the collective, what would be fulfilling for you to be involved in your life. It doesn't have to be grand. It could be something small. It could be like, I want to like open a bake shop. Well, that's not really small, but you know what I mean? I want to write a book, or I want to volunteer, or I want to work with kids. Like, it doesn't have to be some grandiose, like, I'm going to save the world kind of a thing, right? Living our purpose is just us being us. But whatever this recent integration is, it's almost like giving you more clarity, like almost like giving you the keys, so to speak, on seeing what that thing is. Okay? So it's an energetic integration to eventually physically integrate something into your reality. That's just going to be fulfilling for you. Okay? I do personal reads. I just haven't been able to offer them in a while just because I've had a lot of stuff going on. So when my life is like more routine, that's when I make my readings available. But my life has not been very routine and there's been a lot of shit going on. So that's why I haven't been available for readings. But every time I do become available, I always announce it ahead of time. But also if you go to my website, like you'll see the BOMISpirit tab, and there's other people on my site too that are doing their own thing, and it'll take you to their sites and what they're doing and services they offer. So if you go to my site, it's not just me. So if there are things you guys are like wanting services for, by all means check out my islandturtlemagic.com site, because right now BOMISpirit.com is getting a revamp. But anyway, coming back here, Sag. And when I say integration, again, don't get caught up on the words. It could be as simple as maybe you're working through a vice. Maybe you're working through like a bad habit of yours. I don't know why it's coming through like devilish energy. Do I have any Sag placements? Just my Lilith. That's it. Just my Lilith. But anyway, sorry. I keep wanting to engage with you guys, but then I'm like, I need to like stay in it. Yeah, for some of you, it could be just as simple as literally like working through the pain of a bad experience, or damn, I need to leave that job, let me process that. Like, it doesn't have to be so big and grand and grandiose. For some of you it is. For my mystics out there, it probably is, and you probably know exactly whatever it is that you are integrating that is probably more cosmic, galactic in nature than just working through a wound or what have you. But whatever this integration is, it's giving you clarity and keys on doing something in your physical reality that can offer you more personal fulfillment, big or small. Okay. Okay. All right, let's see if any other ones want to come out, and then we're going to pull some other cards here. When the beloved card comes out, it could also imply that there are relationships at play, specifically like romantic relationships. So take that as it resonates. It's not going to be for everybody. All right, we did get one more. Ooh, another one that I've never really seen before. This one's a little hard to pronounce. I'm gonna do my best. Mitragenia. I believe that's how you pronounce that. Shape-shifting. So Saturn and Neptune gives me strong world vibes. like world card vibes, strong, strong world card vibes. Oh, Saturn and Neptune together. Oh, I mean that I feel that weight of Saturn like tuning into this card for you and just with what I'm already picking up on in your energy. It's definitely about going to that deep place of self in a transformative state. So kind of what we're talking about, right? It's like you're clearly doing some kind of integration and bringing yourself like back home and into balance. Um, but it's like, oh, but to do it, you got to go really within to do that. You got to go really deep within to do that. And I do like that this is coming out here again with this whole lion's mane energy, because I keep getting it's essential for you to get certain keys or insight into what can be more fulfilling in your physical reality, even if it's a little change, right? Even if it's, you know what, I'm going to start hiking, or like, you know what, I'm going to start swimming. Like, even if it's something that small or again, grandiose or big, something very deeply transformative is happening for you in this integration, and then it's going to spill over into your physical reality. But I keep getting it's from the discipline of actually just doing that kind of work with yourself is what I'm getting with that. Oh, some of you may feel like you're also finally closing out some karmic lessons too. That's also very indicative of the time that we're in at this end of this year, and the full moon in Cancer also had something to do with that too. Overall, you have Shisandra. Shisandra. This I actually consider to be your card. I consider this to be very like temperance oriented with Jupiter and with Venus and grace. This just feel to me this feels not just like peaceful, but I feel rewards here. Like I do. I feel almost like the rewards and joy of a very like what's the word? Luscious? I like never say that word, but that's kind of the word that wants to come through. Like a very like luscious physical experience with whatever this thing is that you could potentially integrate into your physical reality. It feels like a little gift. It feels like eating a delicious piece of fruit. It's just something that feels nourishing and comforting and like invigorating and like you know what I'm trying to say. I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. It's just like whoo, like just it just almost like tickles the soul a little bit, but it feels like a physical reality experience that's happening as a result of this of your shift, and again whatever you could potentially be doing in your physical reality. Oh, interesting. For those of you where this is much more of like a massive integration, again my mystics who are doing like galactic cosmic sort of integrations, your senses could be different. Because I was like, even just as I was like, oh yeah, you're tasting the fruit and you're doing this and you're doing that, but it's physical. Your physical senses could be enhancing at this time, like especially with taste. I don't know why that's coming through like that. But that's what's coming through. Like if you like almost like if you eat grapes and it's like, oh my God, I've never really eaten a grape before. It's like the taste is even different. The whole experience is different. Um, Very interesting reading, Sag. Very interesting reading. Let's pull some more cards and then we're gonna wrap up this whole video. Because there again, there's definitely stuff I got to do. And again, I might be on later to talk about 2024, today or tomorrow for sure. So I want to do it before we hit the actual 2024, right? Okay, using Rider-Waite here. I can't get away from that feeling of like enhanced taste. Like I can't get away from that feeling. It's so bizarre. Anyway. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius pertaining to this spread? I'm getting sucked into that Damiana card. Getting really sucked into that. And I'm getting strong Gemini. Something about that card feels really, really good. Kind of what I was feeling off the Shisandra card. Like something feels very yummy. Yeah, something feels very yummy. Kind of like a Six of Cups vibe. I feel like I'm picking up on Saggies where a relationship is involved in this. For you here. Okay. Any messages or insights for Saggy regarding this spread? Okay, interesting. So on chamomile, we have the Two of Pentacles coming out. Two of Pentacles speaks of choices and balance. And again, I do feel like you are learning how to, right, come back into balance with this integration. So I feel like that's why that's there. It's just speaking to the balance of things, balance of you. Ooh. On the Damiana card, the one that feels yummy and luscious, we do have the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. For some of you guys, this is why it feels so yummy, this like little reward, so to speak, coming out of this process. Because yes, this is about you balancing. We do have the Ace and the Two and the Three, but achieving that balance, right? Achieving that like full on integration to then come back out into your physical reality and start to recalibrate your physical reality to now your inner reality. We get the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. This is an opportunity to come together with other people. This is an opportunity to establish foundations and roots and plans and friendships and things like that. But it's in the pentacle realm. It's in the physical reality realm. It's supportive. It's nourishing. And something about it just feels yummy. I can't get away from this yummy feeling. It feels uplifting too. It feels very uplifting too. Again, these could just be friendships, but some of you, this is about romantic connections as well. Intimate. They said intimate. Intimate connections as well. It just feels really good. Anything else for Saggy? Whoop. Let's see. Oh. I went, ooh, Page of Cups. And then I was like, oh, Two of Swords. I feel like this is happening in your integration. The Two of Swords and the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is my card of innocence. It's like the purest part of us. Whether you want to look at it as a pure part of your soul or your heart or your inner child, I think they're kind of all one anyway. But that Two of Swords energy, I feel like as you're in this integration process, literally the two, right? The two opposing truths, the two opposing sides, and trying to bring that, open that up and bring that into balance. What's on the other side of that balance is really just you. It's just you. It's just the pureness of you is all that is. So that's what's coming through in your integration when you finish that process, okay? Anything else for Sag? Am I taking that? No. Okay. Anything else for Sag? I knew I felt that Six of Cups. I was like, I feel the yumminess of a Six of Cups. I do. I feel it. I feel it in there somewhere. Six of Cups is my patterns card. It also speaks to the past lives. It's a Scorpio energy. It can be nostalgia. It can be a card of soulmate energy. It can be butterflies, excitement. It almost, in a way, especially with the Page of Cups being out here, it kind of is the inner stirrings of a Page of Cups. It's the butterflies, it's the deep emotional awareness of what a Page of Cups is, again, in a pure way. I just knew that Six of Cups was here. There is a lot of like sussing out the past in this integration as well, especially if you're breaking patterns. And I feel like a lot of you guys are breaking patterns and codependencies and things like that. Let's see. Sorry, I felt the need to like come up in the comments for a second. I've been working on my balance. Ironic you ask. That isn't this kind of reader. Oh, thank you for answering that, Miss Moreno. Thank you. Anyway, coming back. I do feel a lot of you are breaking patterns, right? So I do think that's also why the Six of Cups is here. But it's like, it's bringing back the excitement of like that pure state. You understand what I'm saying? Where it's like an unjaded sense of excitement and yumminess. Like okay, I'm trying to think of an example here. Like when you were a kid and you got excited about Christmas, or when you were a kid and you got excited about, I don't know, when you're a kid, you get excited about everything because you're just in that pure Page of Cups place, right? But as we get older, we get jaded. We get super jaded as fuck. We do. It's just part of being here, right? But in integrating and doing this integration, it's almost like you're able to reclaim that ability to be just that excited about this Ace of Pentacles and this Three of Pentacles. And it feels just as nourishing because it's like, it's just more pure. You understand what I'm saying? I think you guys get what I'm saying. Especially if this involves a connection where there's a soul contract or you do have some like major past life ties together, it really can evoke that like sense of butterfly childlike excitement. I really like the Six of Cups being here. Like I said, it feels very yummy to me. Anyway, moving on. Let's see what other cards want to come out and then we'll wrap this up. Anything else for Saggy? Yeah, I see you. Ooh. Okay, so let's get back to this Two of Pentacles energy as you're trying to integrate and find this balance of self. We got the Ten of Cups in reverse. The Ten of Cups in reverse is acknowledging like our deepest sense of unhappiness, basically, right? The family that makes us unhappy, makes us feel not emotionally taken care of or supported, the lack of emotional stability in our lives, how we wake up and we just are not happy, or we go to work and we're just not happy, the things that make us angry or sad or lonely or depressed, like things like that. That's like Ten of Cups in reverse, right? This integration, like I said, I think is going to be a lot of shadow work and breaking patterns. I feel like Saggy in this process, this integration process, you are acknowledging the deepest sources of your unhappiness. Saggy, you tend to be very positive anyway because you're Jupiter ruled. It's kind of like, I'm not going to say it's impossible because it's not impossible, but it's when I've met Saggys, they do tend to be a lot more optimistic, even if bad things are happening, or people who are like Jupiter ruled, like like Jupiter sits in their first house, even if they don't have any Saggy, they tend to be very, very positive. But, excuse me, everybody has sources of unhappiness. It's part of being human, right? It's just part of being human. So going there, allowing yourself to acknowledge that maybe you're not happy all the time. Maybe there is some deeper stuff that you tend to ignore or tend to pacify or tend to suppress. Go there. Go into your little personal underworld, and then that's where you're going to do this integration. Okay. I'm also getting to like a lot about just relationship wise, especially for Saggies, where there's been a lot of inconsistencies either within your family relationships or just friendships or romantic relationships that have left you feeling lacking or feeling just disappointed or just feeling like something is not right, something's been missing from that. You're going to get to the root of what about you is the factor in that to shift that. Not saying it's something that you're doing. It could just be something that emotionally you haven't dealt with, right? Could even just be that. But let's zoom back forward to where this beautiful little yummy like gift comes in of the Ace of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. Remember, coming in with this like sense of unity with Damiana and some of you a relationship. We do get the Nine of Pentacles, which is a card of independence. It's a card of independence, confidence, feeling strong and grounded within the self. When you having the 9 and the 3 and the Ace, there is a Six of Pentacles energy there between the 3 and the 9. We already have the 2 because that was the first card that came out. But there is a Six of Pentacles energy here, which is a card of give and take. Reciprocity. I scratch my back, you scratch, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. It was like hard for me to say, right? When you feel so stable and strong, even emotionally stable within the self, and you're able to give and be open to others, and they can give back to you in that same vein, in that same way, from that same energy, you can build empires, you can build mountains, you can build long-lasting relationships. And I feel like that's what you're getting to experience here, Sag. Like the delicious, yummy fruits of very pure relationships. Yeah, a very pure relationships with healthy individuals. You being one of them, obviously. So very nice. Very nice. Some of you are also wanting to network with people to build your own dream. That just came through really strong too. Now, moving on to the overall, we're almost done, guys. This is kind of a longer reading than I anticipated. Overall, we have the Seven of Cups with the Moon. Ooh, and the Nine of Wands. Again, I feel this is part of what you're facing in integration. It's heavy. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Ten of Cups in reverse, also kind of heavy. not very easy, not very subtle. With the Moon and the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Wands, it's this feeling of, why do I feel this way? or why is this hard, or why does this weigh on me so much? And I just feel so much unknown in that, almost like just a lot of, yeah, a lot of confusion in that. But again, if you go into yourself and into this space to do this integration, a lot of that's going to become clear. Underneath the Nine of Wands, we do have the Queen of Swords, you being very clear in looking at these things. Queen of Swords is what I call the epitome of truth. I also consider the Queen of Swords to be the minor to the major High Priestess. That's not an explicit tarot rule. It's just something I have seen and learned over time. So for any tarot readers out there, if you want to be a tarot reader, you just start to learn a lot if you pay attention. Now, I feel like I could do a whole video on this. There are plenty of tarot readers out there that read explicitly from the cards and are not using their intuition. Everybody reads differently. And I'm not going to say the way someone reads is wrong. I'm not going to ever say that. But I do think that readers who use their intuition and actually are a channel can read a lot more of just what's really going on. Because like cards can be limiting if you're just sticking to like the explicit meanings of them. I like to tell you guys the meanings because I like to just share and like so you guys can kind of like see where I'm going with things. But a lot of times I'll get stuff and it's just like, doesn't match the card at all because I'm using my intuition and I'm acting as a channel. But my point is, there are readers who will read just explicitly what the cards are and they won't pay attention. Over the years from paying attention, I've just noticed, like, oh, the Queen of Swords essentially is the High Priestess. She is air, she is water. She holds those polarities just like the High Priestess does, and she receives the physical, tangible, logical truth and the emotional, intuitive, psychic truth and can discern amongst both and act accordingly. That's exactly what a High Priestess does, right? So anyway, I didn't mean to go on a whole soapbox thing about that. I just felt the need to explain for some reason. So there I did. Anyway, so minor to the major, Queen of Swords, High Priestess energy coming out here again. So if you commune within yourself from that High Priestess place, coming out in the physical reality, you're going to be showing up as a Queen of Swords, this like epitome of truth to discern through your own emotional stuff, to do this kind of integration. Okay. Yeah. And that kind of circles me back to what I picked up on initially before we even got into readings of like, whoa, you feel like a little ungrounded and kind of stressed and kind of scattered. Seven of Cups can very much be that, right? So interesting full circle there. But those are the reads. I hope you guys enjoyed the reads. I always enjoy reading for you guys. I like your nails. Thank you. I had Christmas nails on for most of December, and then after Christmas, they got a little like, time to like replace them. And I almost put more Christmas ones on again, but Christmas was over, and I was like, I don't know. And so I just chose like wintry ones because, technically, right, winter. Let's see, transmute the pain and you will be good. Yeah, just go there with yourself. It's just you. Like, there's nothing to be afraid of, right? Like, it's just yourself. It's just you and you. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope oh, probably my sign to get off. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. It's time for me to depart. I hope you guys had a great birthday season, a great holiday, a great full moon. I hope you have an amazing new year. I will be on either later today or tomorrow to talk about 2024. And yeah, and I will see you guys on the other side whenever I show up again. Okay. There's a website, socials, all that stuff is linked below for your convenience. I'm going to hop off. Again, I love you guys. Take care. Have a great weekend, great day, and I'll see you later.